What's up YouTube? Back here with another video this week, and it's all about how you can create a digital marketing strategy in 2019. So whether you own a business or you're currently working under someone, you need to have a plan to execute all your things on your digital marketing channels. So whether it's social media, website, email, ads, all this stuff is really great to have, but unless you have a plan to execute it all together all at once, it won't be that effective. That is why I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to create a digital marketing strategy that you might want to be using in 2019. So if you're excited to learn more, then be sure to keep on watching. By definition, a digital marketing strategy is pretty much a plan of action of how you plan to use all the digital marketing channels that you have to really achieve business goals through those channels. And at a glance, here's the process that I personally always go through when I create a digital marketing strategy. I first think about the goals that I really want to accomplish through this digital marketing campaign. Then I think about what are the potential funnels that my customers and potential users can actually go through from the start to the very end of the process. I then follow up with thinking about who exactly I want to target, so I would be creating user personas at this stage. And lastly, but not the very least, what are the measurements of success that I see for this digital marketing campaign? So whether or not I see the success in my campaign through the number of video views that I get, or the number of followers that I get, or the number of engagements that I get, it's really up to you. And the very first thing that I always do with my digital marketing campaigns is thinking about the goal that I have in mind. What exactly are you hoping to achieve through digital marketing? You know, some of the examples off the top of my head might include more sales, more traffic, more leads, more awareness, and much more. But saying all of that stuff is super vague. So I would really recommend that you develop SMART goals for your digital marketing campaign. And what I mean by that is that your goals need to be specific, it needs to be measurable, it needs to be attainable, it also needs to be relevant, and lastly, it also needs to be time specific. So let's say that you're an ice cream shop and you want to make some SMART goals for your digital marketing business. Some SMART goals could be increasing the average of weekly sales by 5% after 3 months of consistent uploading and posting onto social media, or increasing Instagram followers by 25% after 2 weeks of actually putting together consistent relevant content. And out of the 5 things in SMART that you really want to achieve, I would really recommend thinking about the specific and also the timely, because you want to make sure that by the end of your digital marketing goals that you can say that you achieve X amount of things by this time. The second thing that I always do when I create a digital marketing strategy is thinking about the funnel. Exactly how is your online user going to get from point A to point B from the entire process of your marketing plan. So you're going to need to create a funnel that would really help guide your consumer from point A to point B. And something that I always use is the ACID framework. As you guys know, I always talk about this ACID framework, and it's pretty much the breakdown of awareness, consideration, interest, and then decision. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to break down this funnel into another funnel over here, which talks about traffic, value, opt-in, testing, engagement, and then final closing sale. And now talking about each bucket within this process. For traffic, you can talk about offline marketing, online marketing, social media. With value, you could be offering pretty much knowledge that you want to be sharing for your online users, a Facebook group community, or even a lead magnet. With opt-in, this is the stage where people want to learn more about your business and they're giving you information from themselves. So this can be a lead generation form that you processed, or even you got them to purchase something from your website. With testing, this is the stage where you have all their information and pretty much you can play around with all the information that they have provided you and providing, more ads towards them, more videos, more seminars, more webinars. And with engagement and then the closing sale, this can be anything from social media to, again, a webinar, a video, any way that you can interact with your online user and really close that final sale once you get to that stage. So you can see that this process over here, it's a pretty common process that a lot of digital marketers are using nowadays. There are a lot of variations of this process, but pretty much this is the backbone that you want to be using in your digital marketing campaign. The third thing that you want to figure out is exactly who are you going to be targeting. And the best way to do this is through user personas. So here is an example of a user persona that I pulled up on the internet. Alright guys, so you see here that this person is named Clark Andrews. You have their image, you have a quote about them, you have all their basic information like their age, occupation, status, location, motivations, goals, frustrations even, which is really good to have if you're kind of learning their pain points and you want to solve a problem with a product for their pain points. You have their bio, their personality, technologies that they've interacted with, and also brands that they most commonly find them associated themselves with. So this is a pretty good example of what to do for a user persona. Again, you don't have to go super in depth to this extent. I would say definitely have, their interests, their motivations, their age, location, frustrations even, just to start with. So when you have your very first user persona, that is super awesome. But I would always recommend having at least 3 so you can play around with different audiences, different campaigns, and different things that you might want to test out. Lastly, you want to create measurements of success, or in other words, key performance indicator. And the reason why I really recommend that you focus on KPIs in the very beginning, especially when you're first starting out, is because when you're starting with newer clients, they probably don't know exactly who you are, how much power and influence you have for marketing campaigns. So you want to find as much detail and testimonials and examples that you've done for people in the past to really provide as evidence of how strong you are in digital marketing. And the best way to do KPIs is actually bringing out your funnel that you created in the very first or second step and putting numbers beside each step of the process. So if you think about the funnel that we just used over here, which is the traffic, value, opt-in, testing, engagement, and closing, what kind of KPIs can we use in this case? Just off the top of my head, for traffic, you could potentially be doing website visits. For value, you might want to be considering how many people that you have in a community on Facebook. So let's say you might want to have at least 100 people sign up into your Facebook group. For opt-in, you might want to consider having at least 200 people signed up on an email list by the first month even. And testing doesn't really need KPIs because it's kind of like a fluid metric that comes along with engagement. And for engagement, you could potentially be using a metric like 1,200 increased followers by 6 months of actually consistent posting onto the social media platform. Alright, so I think I know what you're thinking at this point in the video. Aren't these KPIs exactly the same as what I set for myself in the very beginning of my marketing goals? You could say that because most of your goals in the very beginning of the video could be smaller goals. But again, I would really recommend for you guys to think about your goals as being more of an overarching thing that you want to achieve holistically from this whole digital marketing campaign, from all the channels from the very beginning all the way to the very end. Alright guys, so that's pretty much how I create a digital marketing strategy for any online business or client that I've worked with in the past. And the best way that you can put together the information that you collected from this point in the video is into PowerPoint. And I always create PowerPoint presentations for my clients and also my workplace, just so that they can get a really good visualization of how the digital marketing report lays out from start to finish. Alright guys, so if you guys did enjoy the content in this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I post a video next, and I'll see you guys next week.